It's Pro Motocross week. The second half of the 2024 SuperMotocross World Championship will commence at Fox Raceway in Southern California this weekend. And on this episode of the Vital MX pregame show, we will take a look ahead to what that series has to offer. But remember, interesting stuff happens everywhere, and for that reason, we will also be taking a detailed look at all that has gone on in the FIM Motocross World Championship. Drama and controversy reigned supreme at the previous round in France, which was run this past weekend, so stay tuned for that. First, however, let's take a look ahead to Pro Motocross. Jet Lawrence enters as the 450 MX favourite, of course, and what's interesting and highlighted in the graph that is on screen now is the fact that he has won almost double the number of 450 MX overalls in comparison to his active competitors. Eli Tomac and Cooper Webb are not included on this graph because they will not start the outdoor series this weekend. Whilst Jet Lawrence is the clear favourite in 450 MX, Chase Sexton is the clear favourite to derail his title hopes, or at least steal a couple of wins from his grasp. You also have wildcards like Dylan Ferrandis, Justin Barcia and Jason Anderson, who are the only other riders to have won in the 450 MX class. Rookies Hunter Lawrence and Justin Cooper are sure to add their names to that list in the not too distant future, and the table on screen now highlights the differences in their respective 250 MX careers. What I find interesting about this table is the fact that Hunter Lawrence has won more 250 MX rounds, despite the fact that he has started 18 less events than Cooper. But most striking is the fact that Justin Cooper has 39 250 MX podiums, which is almost double the number of Hunter Lawrence. If you glance at Justin Cooper's 250 career, it is simply incredible how much time he spent in second or third. Will his 450 career end up being quite similar? Well, a win would be useful for him, as he has his sights set on a lucrative 450 contract for 2025 and beyond. Cooper, as detailed last week, is somewhat sick of being the third rider at Star Racing and wants to really set his own path in the 450 class. Before we move on, 250 MX will be quite interesting this weekend, a much more level playing field there, and in my opinion at least, the clear favourites for that title are Tom Vial, RJ Hampshire, Levi Kitchen and Hayden Deegan. Who do you think will reign supreme? Let us know in the comments below. We received some injury news from the Muck-Off FXR Club MX Yamaha team as they confirmed that Garrett Marchbanks will start 2024 Pro Motocross, despite the fact that he injured his thumb at Nashville's round of Monster Energy Supercross. In a statement, the team said that Marchbanks had his cast removed at noon on the Friday just gone and was already riding by 1 o'clock. Supposedly he is in some pain and discomfort, but that will not stop him from starting his 450 MX campaign this weekend. And Marchbanks, as well as his 450 MX teammate Phil Nicoletti, are also starting their march towards the SuperMotocross playoffs. Both riders are starting with 0 points, seeing as they did not race 450 Supercross, and therefore have work to do if they want to secure a direct transfer into those playoffs. The combined standings are actually rather interesting because Christian Craig, Ty Masterpool, Frederick Noren, Derek Drake and Grant Harlan are also outside of the top 20, and all of those riders are incredibly capable outdoors, so they should amass a decent amount of points each. There will be some openings inside of the top 20. Adam Cincerello has retired, of course, so he is irrelevant in this discussion. Benny Bloss is currently out injured, and Colt Nichols, who is just above the threshold, will not race for complete outdoor season, as the beta team have only picked select rounds to race. I believe the plan as of now is for them to compete in just 3 rounds. Stay tuned as we update you on the SMX combined points each week after a Pro Motocross round. Now, jumping across to Europe, MXGP was extremely interesting this past weekend. Romain Febvre was the big winner at home. At least that's what the TV coverage would have led you to believe. Yes, he stood atop the podium, listened to his French national anthem, adored by thousands of home spectators. But around 10 minutes after that podium ceremony, his win was taken away, and it was through no wrongdoing of his own. Kevin Horgmo and Jeremy Sewer jumped on a yellow flag on the final lap of the second moto and were both docked 2 positions each. This gave Tim Gajser a massive gift as he inherited positions and points, enough in fact to give him the overall victory. This has left a sour taste in so many people's mouths. Why? Well, Gajser was over 10 seconds behind Horgmo at the finish, so realistically, no matter whether Horgmo jumped on the yellow flag or not, Tim Gajser was not going to gain that position or those points, so why should he have been given a gift, an automatic promotion, when it wasn't necessarily deserved? I expect this story to develop in the current days, as so many riders have reached out to the FIM demanding answers. Romain Febvre, in fact, took to Instagram with this statement. I will read you a small excerpt here. In one way, I get it. Rules are rules, but something has to change quick. Probably people. He's referencing the staff at the FIM there. How can you wait that long, FIM? Why did no one from the FIM come to explain it? No one. For context, he was only told that he had lost the Grand Prix win by an MXGP staff member, not the governing body, the FIM, which is quite ludicrous in hindsight. It was certainly a positive weekend for Tim Gajser because not only did he win his first Grand Prix of the season, it took a little longer than anyone expected and therefore he was elated, but he also regained control of the red plate. He now leads the championship by 5 points over Jorge Prado. In more somber news, home rider Thibaut Benistant had a horrific crash in Saturday's timed session, and a Yamaha statement provided this update. Thibaut was taken to the on-site medical centre where he was initially cleared of any fractures or serious injury. However, upon closer assessment, a small fracture in his C5 vertebra has been detected. There has not been any official word on the severity of the injury, a timeline on his recovery, or anything like that, but it seems as though he is going to be okay. Although, of course, he will have to rest for some time and allow that vertebra to heal. This bit of information will be particularly interesting to American viewers, so you may want to grab a hold of this. Benistant's YZ250 FM will remain vacant for some time now, and what will be particularly interesting to American viewers is the fact that it will be filled by an American rider in the not too distant future. Stay tuned in the coming weeks as we will dive into that when the official announcement drops. There will also be some discussion about it on the MXGP podcast show this week, so find that wherever you listen to your podcasts. That's it for another episode of the Vital MX pre-game show. There is a lot to look forward to as Pro Motocross begins this weekend. Although there is not a round of MXGP, there will be a lot of activity in Europe. The second round of the Dirt Store ACU British Championship will be run at Canada Heights, and Jeffrey Hurlings will be a wildcard once again. Also, the ADAC MX Masters, that's Germany's national championship, will run another round of their series this weekend with a handful of MXGP riders. There will be a lot of on-track activity this weekend, and therefore a lot for us to dive into in next week's Vital MX pre-game show. We will see you then.